Here at the Peoria Fire Training Academy, city council members are getting a first-hand look at what our fire crews go through when they answer a call. For those council members, this is a two-pronged battle, one with the fires in front of them and the budget at City Hall.
All right, let's do this.
When the air is filled with smoke and a fire right in front of you, it's hard to focus on anything else. That lifestyle on full display Friday as Peoria Fire and Firefighters Local 50 put on a boot camp for Peoria City Council, making them focus on fighting fires and budget cuts.
I think the education and the experience that we have with working with our first responders is key for us to be able to have that information as we go in for future discussions.
It wasn't a mere show and tell, rather a full look at rescue, EMS, and the experience of gearing up in full fire garb for search and rescue.
It is a lot more difficult than you think to climb up a ladder to the second floor and go through when you can barely lift your leg up.
Beth Jensen and other council members did the full trip, and as a budget deep in the red threatens cuts across all city sectors, it gives an idea of what possible cuts to fire crews could mean.
One of the people I was up there with ran out of oxygen, and they said if that had happened in a real fire, because there were only 3 of us up there in the fire during a search and rescue, we all 3 would have had to leave.
The president of the Peoria Firefighters Union has been at the forefront of efforts to save jobs, especially after vehicle brownouts earlier this summer. He says spreading crews even thinner is a risk to public safety.
It's not good when you have to wait seconds, minutes, 5-6 minutes, especially when you talk about fires, or even on an EMS call, if a person's not breathing for 4 minutes, they're clinically dead.
Caught in the middle, Chief Ed Olihai trying to juggle meeting the city's budget demands and keeping his crews in Peoria safe. He says they're out of options.
And in this next go-around, depending on what the council does and the budget that comes available to us, we really don't have anything left.
Councilman Ruckriegel told me the last check of the budget was about $6 million in the red, but he said he wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year it was closer to $8 million. In Peoria, Mason Dowling, Heart of Illinois, ABC. Good evening. I'm here at Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago, where one of our own from the Heart of Illinois, Wally Bastian, and his family are fighting for Wally's life with a rare heart condition, but they're receiving a lot of community support from the Heart of Illinois, and thank you for making their stay here possible. Walter Bastian, better known as Wally, is just 13 months old. He had his first near-fatal scare at just 7 weeks old, and it's been weeks since his parents have even been able to hold him.
It's excruciating. It's sad. I would trade places with him if I could, and he takes it all with a smile, and it's been his whole life. He doesn't know any different.
Wally has Barth syndrome, a rare heart defect that affects heart growth and strength, eventually leading to failure. A similar issue took the life of the Bastian's first child, Henry.
It makes you feel kind of helpless because you're not able to give him anything to actually help him.
Wally's got a mechanical Berlin heart helping him right now, but what he needs is a transplant. That comes with a cost, since it means another child would have to have died to donate their heart.
Because if anybody knows traumatic experiences, it's us. You don't want to think about it. God forbid it ever happened, but it does happen. And what better way to honor that person than to give someone else like Wally the gift of life?
Wally and the Bastians aren't in the fight alone. Between Chillicothe PD, Wally's warriors, friends, and family, Wally's family got a lot bigger, all to ensure Wally's heart beats strong. We're going to have a link to Wally's GoFundMe page, as well as any information you'd like to know about Barth syndrome on this story on our website, hoiabc.com. In Chicago, for Heart of Illinois ABC, I'm Mason Dowling. Back to you. This video of a break-in in progress is disturbing. A man dressed head to toe in obscuring clothes going back and forth in this normal home for anything he can get his hands on. And then there's this video from Bloomington, just revealed after an incident from May of what appears to be the same man in a nursery. And these 2 incidents aren't the only ones.
We've had approximately 4 break-ins that we would consider to be possibly related since March.
The targets here, those 4 happening within the larger Ironwood subdivision. Police saying the thief took jewelry and, in one instance, a laptop.
80% of burglaries are preventable. I mean, really, they are, and you can catch these people with the right systems in place.
Robert Brown owns a security installation company and says multiple layers of security is a good bet.
We tie our security systems into alarm systems as well, so you could have a text alert on motion detection, so you'll get alerts while it's happening.
Security cameras aren't the only way to keep your home safe. Police shared with me some tips on prevention that you can use to keep your home from looking like a target. First and foremost, make sure your home looks occupied even if you aren't there. Lights, both inside and out, cars in the driveway, or having a neighbor keep an eye out. And if nothing else, call the non-emergency line for a patrol.
There's nothing that's too minor for you to call and let us come out and check. If you're in doubt, give us a call.
Right now what we're seeing is that there are still puddles, and some deep puddles at that, here along Bradley Avenue and Truett Avenue in Chillicothe, but for the most part, most of the main roads are finally starting to drain. I do want to take you down, though, because like I was saying, the parts that aren't draining are still very deep. Now, take a look over at that stop sign. There was actually about a 9-year-old kid who was playing in it earlier. The water was almost up to his waist, to give you an idea of just how deep that is. And as you look further down the road, there are those rises where it's starting to dry off and drain, but the dips are still very deep. And of course, this is not the only area that is experiencing this kind of weather. All of this starting earlier this afternoon with that front that moved through and lots of reports of funnel clouds. Now, those came with the tornado warnings that we were on the air warning you about. Thankfully, only one tornado was reported, and it was a very light one, that being about a mile west of Yates City. The rain did help dissuade the formation of other tornadoes. What did form were plenty of funnel clouds. We got multiple reports. Chief Meteorologist Brian Walder has the exact numbers of those. This isn't the last kind of this weather that we can expect in the immediate future, however.
I would expect that when this main system comes at us, we could see another good round of this.
Now, right now, there is a flash flood warning for Marshall, Tazewell, and Woodford counties in effect until tonight. And like I said, some of the water is starting to drain. A Public Works member that was driving by earlier, I asked him how long this stretch of road usually takes to drain. He said it could be anywhere from a few hours to, if the rain keeps coming, all night. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to be quite the case right now. But we do want to emphasize, you see this truck driving through right now. The water is certainly getting up very high. We do not want to have you risk trying to drive through these deep areas of water. Turn around, don't drown, don't flood out your engine. We did see people trying to have to push their cars out of the flooded areas. I'm going to toss things back now to Chief Meteorologist Brian Walder, who has all of the latest weather for now, live in Chillicothe. Mason Dowling, Heart of Illinois, ABC. Here at OSF Children's Hospital, it's kind of like a scene out of Dr. Seuss. They have packages, parcels, and bags of pretty much every gift you could imagine or want if you were a kid here. And that's all to try to make their Christmas the best one that they can. Santa traded in his reindeer for firemen, his sleigh for a U-Haul, but more than made up for it in piles and piles of gifts.
This means more to me than life itself.
Known around the wards as Santa Bill, he and about a dozen elves handed out gifts, great and small, to the kids hospitalized at OSF Children's Hospital.
They're sick. They don't ask to be here. So why not make them happy a little bit, make them forget about that they're sick, and make them smile.
It's a lot of work with a big price tag.
I think we have collected this year $25,000 worth of toys.
But an even bigger payoff when the kids smile. Making things even better this year, a few of Santa Bill's elves are the very kids he used to visit, like Jacob Halloway.
And I know how it's like being in the hospital. It sucks. So it's just, you're going to get through it.
Not everything this year is jolly, though. Santa is dedicating this year's run to Reed Brewer, a patient he visited just last year. Reed passed away in August, and though it's bittersweet now, his parents continue the tradition that so helped their son.
Knowing that other children will have that same smile and Reed will be looking down upon them, and I just think it's just awesome for us.
Following Reed's example, Santa Bill will keep bringing smiles to these kids during some of the toughest times of their life.
If I only make one kid smile, I feel that I did my job. But we make them all smile.
So whether the kids like dollies or Darth Vader, Santa Bill has something for everyone, because even if they can't be home for the holidays, they can still have a very Merry Christmas. In Peoria, Mason Dowling, Heart of Illinois, ABC. My message to the Heart of Illinois: we do our best to do the best for you. What matters is that you care enough about what we say to watch. I'm Mason Dowling, and we are the Heart of Illinois.